have a haul. I'm going to split it into two parts because otherwise you're probably going to go to sleep. So I have some makeup and then I have some skincare, so I'm going to start with the makeup. So first of all, I'm going to start with a few little eBay finds. Now, I've been on the lookout for a perfect concealer. You'd think it would be an easy ask, but apparently it's quite difficult. So I went into Space NK with the intention of buying the NARS Soft Matte Concealer, the one in the little pot that was released in January. But for me, it was just too dry. I just didn't really see how that was going to, I don't know, cover anything, and I was there for ages and I tried all different shades and I just didn't like the consistency and the texture. I know a lot of people do, I just didn't like it. Then I tried the Radiant Creamy Concealer from NARS as well. I didn't like that. I'm very fussy apparently. And I tried a couple from Becca and I didn't like those. I know left empty-handed. It's a very rare occurrence that I go into Space NK and come out empty-handed, but in this case I did. I thought, oh, for goodness sake. So I went online, I had a little search around for kind of some American favourites, maybe potentially things we didn't get over here, and not necessarily high-end. And I found these little gems on eBay. Now, the first one I was so excited by because we just did not get this line over here at all. It's the L'Oreal Visible Lift Blur Concealer with Opti-Blur technology. And this was a whole line, and I also bought the foundation. We'll talk about that in a minute. And this one is in 301 Fair. And it purports to instantly blur the look of fine lines, spots and under eye circles. Now, I really like a concealer that does it all. I don't just want a concealer that you can just use under your eyes. I know sometimes colour can be a little bit of a, you know, shade matching from under your eyes to the rest of your face can be a little bit difficult, but this I've actually found is perfect for all over your face. And you actually get 20 ml of this. That's the one thing that kind of drew me to it. I'm like, 20 ml, that's massive. You know, usually our concealers that you get over here in the UK, they're usually about 6.8 ml if you're lucky. So I thought, right, I have to try this. I read the reviews, everyone said they loved it. Oh my god, this concealer is amazing. It covers absolutely everything. It's beautiful, it's creamy. It's not creamy to the point where it's too thick, but it's kind of creamy in the consistency of like an eye cream, but with lots of coverage. If you haven't tried it, go and look on eBay. I'll link the seller down below if I can. And then because I was so impressed with the concealer, I thought I had to try the foundation that went with it. And this is the Visible Lift Blur Foundation. And this shade is in Light Ivory 201. And I kind of expected this foundation to be like the concealer and be quite heavy duty. And the funny thing about this foundation as opposed to the concealer is that it's actually very light. It's kind of like a tinted moisturiser consistency, but with a blurring aspect that I really find quite unique. So if you're looking for something that's not too full coverage, but that definitely makes you look a little bit flawless, try this. And then, because I'm never happy with just like, I think I found the perfect concealer with the Visible Lift by L'Oreal, but I wanted to try another one. So I looked online and everybody raves about this in the States. It's the Hard Candy Glamoflauge. Now this concealer, I found from a different seller on eBay, and I tried to find light and I couldn't find it then. Oh, there it was, it popped up. I was going to find medium, but it's too yellow for me. Why all concealers are yellow based, I don't know. But this one is in light. You get 20 ml of this as well, which is phenomenal. You only need a tiny amount. This is like the heavy duty, it says heavy duty concealer. It really seriously is. This actually covers tattoos. It's phenomenal, believe the hype. It is a little bit more expensive to buy it on eBay in the UK than it is just to buy it in the US, but I don't think there's anything wrong with that if it works. So Hard Candy Glamoflauge, it is absolutely everything that everybody said it was. It's just phenomenal, it's amazing. So got that on eBay as well. Another concealer that I picked up, I don't know, I'm just obsessed with concealers. I actually just got this in Superdrug. And I don't like it. I'd never tried the Bourjois Healthy Mix range before. This is the Bourjois Healthy Mix Anti-Fatigue Concealer. And this one is in shade 52 medium. They only do 3 shades, which is a bit weird. Now, retrospectively, I think I picked up the wrong colour. I think I should have gone for light. But then the light seemed too white, and this is far too yellow. It says it does all sorts of things. It says it depuffs your under eye circles. The one thing I do love is the packaging. I love the packaging. But I don't find it does anything for me personally. You see, it's really yellow. And on me, oh, no, that's just totally the wrong colour, isn't it? Look at that. Oh gosh, no. It's just the wrong colour, and I've used it under my eyes a couple of times with some of my darker foundations, and it's okay, but I just don't see the fuss. It's a shame really, because I did want to try, because they've reformulated this line recently, I did want to try the foundation, but now I don't think I will. So, oh God, look at that. That is so the wrong shade, oh my goodness. Yeah, so for me, I don't think it does anything. It doesn't cover. So that was disappointing. I don't know. It's a shame because I've heard so many things about Healthy Mix from Bourjois, but it's not for me. And then I was in Boots. I've been buying a lot of makeup recently. Then I was in Boots and they had 2 for £12, and I wanted to try the new Infallible Total Cover Foundation from L'Oreal. So I thought, oh, that's good then. This is supposed to be a matte finish with high coverage, and if you are to believe the adverts that L'Oreal are currently putting out with all the Instagram, YouTube people, it covers tattoos. Well, it doesn't. That's crap. I don't know where they got that from. I do not know why companies insist on, I don't know, making claims that are blatantly untrue. This doesn't cover tattoos, okay? It just doesn't. I know they say in the ads that it does and they show you it, but that's not true. At least in my experience, it isn't true. I don't know whether you have like a teeny weeny tattoo, maybe it might cover that, but I doubt it. Anyway, that's just one of the things they say it does, which it doesn't. It's a full coverage long wear foundation, weightless film. The shade I have is in 10 Porcelain. It's a little bit pale for me, but I always do that. So apparently it covers imperfections, redness, marks and dark spots. Ultimate spreadability and even coverage. I wouldn't say this is a high coverage foundation. Maybe my perception of a high coverage foundation is a bit warped, but I just don't think it is. It's a lovely foundation and it's really grown on me. It's grown on me in a way that I didn't think it would. The texture's kind of like a mousse, and it's just like, God, my hands are pale. And it's like a whipped consistency, I suppose. It's just there. This is the Bourjois concealer, oh my goodness. It's a nice consistency. I've been wearing it a lot. It is a nice foundation, absolutely, don't get me wrong, but if you're thinking it's going to cover everything under the sun and you're just going to be ultimately flawless, then no. I mean, no. But it's a nice foundation. And because it was 2 for £12 and I needed a new powder, I thought I would pick up the Infallible 24-hour matte powder, and I found the shade Warm Vanilla. This apparently has up to 24-hour hold. I hope nobody ever tests that theory. Mattifying, shine resistant, use it dry or wet for even more coverage. I haven't used it wet. The one thing I would say about this powder is that it is not, I've used a lot of it, it is not, it doesn't stay matte. It just doesn't. It has a nice glow about it, which I don't mind. It comes with a little sponge as well. I don't mind that it has a glow about it as the day wears on, but I've got it on today and you can see it's kind of, the foundation's coming through a bit, so if you're looking for something absolutely lock-in matte, this is not it, but it's a lovely powder. A couple of bits from Maybelline. I picked up the Dream Satin Liquid foundation because it used to be my favourite foundation, but I picked up a different shade than the one I usually have, and I don't know whether that's affected my opinion on it or whether I just don't like it anymore. But the shade I picked up is Ivory, which clearly it isn't. And I don't know, my feelings on this foundation have changed drastically, because I did used to love it and now I don't. It's a bit patchy and it just doesn't seem to do anything. It just makes your face look a bit flat. So perhaps that's, I don't know, perhaps it's just me or what I'm putting on underneath it, but I've tried it with different primers and different moisturisers and it just doesn't work. So yes, that's a bit disappointing, but I did used to love it. And then I needed a new brow product, so I picked up the Brow Satin in the dark brown, and it's got a powder on one end. You know the drill. It's got a little powdery spongy thing on one end, and it's got a really fine pencil on the other, which I love, because I just can't really justify £20 for a brow pencil. I know I should, because I love the Rodial one and I love the Urban Decay, what was that? Is that the Brow Beater? I don't remember what it was called now. But anyway, I love those two, but I just can't really justify it. But the Brow Satin will do for now. It's a very nice product. It's maybe a touch too light for me. And then I picked up this, which I'm so happy with. This is the Master Precise Liquid Eyeliner from Maybelline. and this is amazing. The point on this baby is so fine. It says it's 0.4 millimeter point. It's phenomenal. It's really black. It stays put. The one thing I would criticise it on is it's not waterproof, but you can't have it all. So, but if you're looking for a really nice drugstore liquid eyeliner, the Master Precise is lovely. And then I picked this up purely, I think, for the name, and also because I love the Push Up Angel from Maybelline. This is the Falsies Push Up Drama in Indecent Black, new mascara, and I have it on today. And this came out obviously before the Push Up Angel, but I never tried it. I don't know why. I think there was a lot of fanfare about it, and I just thought, oh, I can't be bothered with that. Brush is totally different to the Push Up Angel, and it's a very wet formula, which I don't tend to like. So it's a funny one for me, but it's growing on me. I think it's a lovely mascara, but it does take a little bit of working because it can be quite messy, dare I say it. But I like it. I like that one. I don't know why it's called Indecent Black. I've no idea. And then while I was on eBay, because I've become an eBay fanatic. Actually, not while I was on eBay. I recently discovered in a drawer a couple of old beauty blenders. Old, it sounds good, doesn't it? A couple of beauty blenders that I've had, and I thought, oh, I used to love putting my foundation on with beauty blenders. So I gave them a wash and a clean and everything, and I used them the next day, and it was very apparent to me that they were past their prime. So, being a cheapskate, I thought, let's go and have a look around to see if there's a dupe for the beauty blender. And there is. It's this. Look at it, you wouldn't know, would you? This is by Teardrop Beauty, and you can get this on eBay, and as I said, I'll link everything I've mentioned down below if I can. And Teardrop Beauty, this is what they do. They make little beauty blender dupes. And I read the reviews on this, and everyone said it was phenomenal, and it was £2.48. £2.48 with free shipping. And I think the beauty blenders are like £16 now, or something crazy like that. So I thought I'll give it a try. And I actually prefer this to the beauty blender. The reason I prefer it, the main reason I prefer it, is that it's more dense and it's bouncier, and it doesn't appear to retain as much product as the beauty blender. I don't think it's my imagination, I think it's true, and I just prefer this. Somebody said in one of their reviews that it's like a stress ball consistency, and it totally is. And that means that it doesn't take up too much, you know, that's not what it means, but it kind of explains why it doesn't take up so much product, which means that, you know, you kind of get more bang for your buck because it's actually going on your face rather than being absorbed into the sponge. So, amazing find, I think. And then something else I found, and I found this because Kyla from Miss Budget Beauty, she mentioned it on her Instagram, and I thought, why have I never bought one of these? Do you know, like, you do these stupid things, don't you? And you just think it takes somebody to be totally obvious about a product that you really should have bought ages ago. And it's a selfie light. I know. And I don't know, I always kind of thought they were really expensive, but they're not. This one was $7.99. You can get them cheaper on Amazon, I believe, but this one was $7.99. And it's amazing. I actually do not know how I ever took a picture of myself without a selfie light. It's amazing. It just makes you look like you think you look. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, lighting is such a bear, especially in this country, because the light today is awful. The sky, I'm looking at it right now, it is pure white. Now that is terrible for taking pictures. And especially taking pictures of yourself. I mean, it might be alright to take pictures of products, but taking pictures of yourself is just sorry guys, I'm fiddling around my cardigan. It's just not ideal. But I just thought this was like, I thought, well, I'll try it. It seems like a gimmick. But it comes with a rechargeable cable, would you believe, that fits into my phone charger. And it's great, and it has 3 settings. So let's try not to blind you. I'll turn it this way. So that's the first setting. That's the second. And that's the third. It's awesome. It's absolutely awesome. I mean, it's just brilliant. It's like the most brilliant little gadget I think I've ever come across. And it fits on all phones. It's just phenomenal. So get yourself a selfie light, definitely. Those are my little makeup purchases, eBay purchases, things like that. I'll get round to doing my skincare in a minute. I'll probably do that now if the dog lets me. And yeah, so leave me a comment, guys. Tell me what you've been loving recently. I'm sorry I've been away for so long. My laptop's being a complete mardy, and I need another one because it won't turn on at the moment. So hopefully I can edit this. I don't know, I might just be doing it for no reason. But anyway, yeah, let me know what you've been loving, and I will see you guys very, very soon. Bye everyone.